Moving on to the movie that did beat Madam Web. Who would have thought that an actual cinematic superhero movie would get beat by the one and only Bob Marley? This is the new movie that is produced by his son through and through. His son has been parading this all over the place from the Grammys. I don't know when you saw it, but when I saw it, he came out at the beginning and he said he was there every day on set.
Yeah, I got the whole. That's the thing, you normally get the intro from the director or the lead actor, right? And nope, you got a welcome to the movies from Ziggy Marley, which
himself.
Yeah, it takes the whole like family approved biopic to a whole new level.
Almost to a level where they unashamedly are like, we're going to do scenes where this isn't even for y'all. Like, that's my dad staring at actor me. Look, I thought it was a decent biopic. This is one of those where I think you're really getting a slice of life. You don't get to see how he started up. You get some inklings of it in flashbacks, but it's really this moment in time where he's going through the thick of it, right when he's about to rise to fame, but also when his country's like at the brink of a civil war because of the split that they've been doing from the UK.
Yeah.
I thought the performances were strong. I thought the way that they allowed you to vibe with the music was good, because there would be these tense scenes and then they'll be like, we're going to do a jam session. They do the jam session. When they perform a concert, they perform the concert. I think it's worthy of its Dolby price if you're going in there for the music. I think it's worthy of the acting performances. Part of me still feels, though, like this is a really great movie-length episode of his story, and I kind of wanted more. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I just wanted a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel somewhat similarly to you, because as far as music biopics go, it's obviously a very tired genre, but this movie does some things that I think we normally like. It doesn't try to do the whole like birth to death, cradle to grave kind of style biopic where you only get like flash glimpses of these moments in an interesting person's life. And instead, as you mentioned, it's just focusing on the time basically shortly before he leaves Jamaica and for the UK until he finally returns to Jamaica amidst all that civil unrest and performs those peace concerts. So like giving you kind of that hyper-focused look at a section of his life allows you to dive deeper into certain ideas and certain moments and how songs were developed. And it provides an opportunity to, actually get a deeper understanding of Bob Marley. I just don't know if I really got that from this film. I don't know if I took away as much as I would have liked to, and I'm not sure where exactly it lies because, as we've mentioned in the past, this film comes directed by a filmmaker we like in Ronaldo Marcus Green, who makes some good movies, some okay movies, but some really good movies, and also has this pretty solid at bordering on incredible lead performance from Kingsley Ben-Adir, where he's doing some of his own singing, some of his own guitar playing and stuff, just really does a great job of embodying the character. Ultimately, I wonder if it is just the script not having enough movement in its character, right? I feel like the characters are all sort of stuck in a place for a majority of this movie. And there's not as much like room to see different sides of them, and it left me wanting a deeper understanding. And maybe it is because it is such a small slice of the life that we don't get it. But I don't know. It did come up a little bit short for me.
Because I'm trying to wonder, like, what would I add to it? And I'm like, at this point, I'm making it a 3-hour movie. I'm making it a miniseries at that point. So I go back to my age-old rule of that. I think it was a smart approach that he did because it feels like you're hanging out with him. And it does feel, with his performance, like you got to see him backstage for a little bit. Yeah. But it does not feel like what that biopic inside his life is supposed to be, where you understand something. There will be moments where, again, really great performance, but he'll snap. And you'll be like, what did that? We've been here for like an hour and change, right?
Yeah.
There'll be a moment where you're like, okay, I can tell we've seen enough. There's infidelity. But like, we didn't fully see it. We just saw an actress who looked familiar. And it's like, you're too big to be here. Oh, I guess that's what you're supposed to represent. And I wanted those pockets to be explored more. Yeah. And again, the movie does choose when to pause. You could have maybe filled it more if you cut out one of the songs to be half the length, but I didn't want it to be, because that's where he excelled the most. I'm going to go through the supporting cast and then really shout him out. Starting with some of the smaller ones over here. You had, did you get the surprise one?
Michael Gandolfini?
Bro, it took me a minute. I'm like, who is this man? who is this man speaking in this room? It feels like a therapy session. And they got Gandolfini Jr. over here as like a studio exec who was like pushing against what the artwork should be. I thought he did a great job.
I liked
it was nice
him a lot.
seeing him. I like seeing a new side of him. It was different than Licorice Pizza, which I enjoyed. Then going through some of the other ones, has a lot of people around him. And one of the guys who I recognized immediately is this dude, Tosin Cole. British actor, deep British accent. Yet I said in House Party, which isn't a great movie, I thought his American accent was good, but he can't freestyle outside of it. Same thing here. An incredible accent. You never see him freestyling outside of it. And that's why our lead is so good. There are moments where it doesn't feel like he's going on script, but they'll be like rehearsing and he'll like mess up. And I'm like, did he mess up? But he messed up in character as Bob Marley. And it gives you that truth. It allows you to be able to get this scene where the actor has fully embodied the character. And with accent work, with a biopic especially, that's sometimes the hardest thing to do, but that's where I'm like, I'm willing to throw away all those extra scenes that I want to get to know him deeper, because that's almost when you get to know him the truest. He does this dance that they intercut later on to the real Bob Marley, and it's just that freaking joy that this artist had that I think has resonated to today, and why it ended up being number one at the box office. I really like how they capture the music, and I can't complain about that. Lashana Lynch, dude. Woo!
Also, another really solid performance. Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. I know that a lot of people are not going to understand the accents that are happening here, and y'all going to need captions. But even if you don't understand a word, you can feel everything this woman says, dude. What an incredible performance. Another person who has just weaved in accent work through all these movies that you see here. And there's one specific scene, that Paris scene between the two of them.
Yeah, on the street.
And that's where I wanted more, you know? It's like, it's everything, but it's just like you two were just giving it all. And I could see more of you two embodying these two people's lives, because she wasn't just someone who wrote with him. She toured with him. And that intro beginning that you get with her from the car, Alina took out her phone. She searched it up immediately when they said on the radio, or the doctor had said something. We had to search up that fact about her. It's an insane stat to know. There's some things that I did not know about him, especially how his story went, that I found to be interesting. So I do think that at the end of it, while it isn't the grand biopic, it is definitely a part of the media that has covered this man that will continue to add to his legacy. So I still think it's worth catching in theaters, especially at that Dolby setting if you can, for the music, even if it is more of a junior price. I wanted to go full combo, but I'm going to go more of a matinee for this. But Bob Marley, One Love, still a thumbs up for me.
Yeah, I think I'm going 3 stars on it, because it's I think it's good enough to see.
Give him the half.
I don't
Give him the
know,
half
man.
for his performance.
Maybe.
Hey, I got you one. When they would record, and they all had those cannolis. Like, they did not have joints, bro. They had cannolis that were, like, shipped in. And that's, like, 10 minutes. That's all they're doing is just chilling and vibing.
I dug the peace pipe. I definitely dug the peace pipe for sure. But
they were chill, bro. I liked it.
As great as a lot of those performances were, sometimes it was a little on the nose in terms of song selection. You know, he gets into a fight with Lashana Lynch, and it's No Woman, No Cry. It's like, oh, we're gonna come up with a new sound, and we're jamming. You know, we're jamming in the studio, and I don't know.
All right, Zach left here, so I hope he gets to hear this one when he comes back. But Zach reminded me of a really bad one. There's a point early on in the movie. I think he's coming back in over here. Zach, you had mentioned the ones you were going through. I got another one for you.
too hard on that. Yeah,
I hate that you're making me agree with you. You're not coming in yet, but all right, I got you. There was one early on when his kid's worrying.
Yeah, no worry, no cry.
Hey, don't worry.
Yeah,
about a thing. Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about things. Oh,
hey, I didn't say it was 5 stars, right? But I think I'd sit it at a 3.5.
Yeah.
A decent little movie that's out there. Hey, I'm excited to see what Kingsley has next. It's like he's there, but I still want him to do more. He has a Marvel series.
He's one of those
lead here.
He's one of those guys who's like, Lashana Lynch is honestly a little bit like this too. They're both like on the verge.
007, yes.
At some point they will get the role that makes them household names, but they've put in the reps, right? Like they've built the muscle.
Yeah, they're like fully trained actors. They're the best that we have right now. That's why I like seeing him in this movie. Shout out Ronaldo, who you had mentioned earlier. I know he's done some big ones, but We Own the City, Monsters and Men, those two alone are the reason why I'm always going to support whatever this man's doing in theaters. So, Bob Marley, One Love, let us.
Were you surprised at all by the performance of the film, its box office, and beating out Madam Web?
Against Madam Web, kind of, bro. It's MCU.
Yeah.
Or it's still Marvel.
It is, but honestly...
Can you zoom in on that?
Yeah. So I wonder if it's as simple as more people know who
Oh,
Bob
it
Marley is than
cleared.
Madam Web. Yeah, it made almost double what Madam Web made over the weekend, at least
Bro,
domestically.
I can't be mad at that.
Yeah.
I can't be mad at that. Okay, good for it.
But Bob
Damn.
Marley's also like a international superstar. He's on,
That's
more
what they-
college dorm room walls
Bruh,
than almost
when they were-
anybody.
That's what the movie's boasting, and look at that. That's a victory lap right there, what the movie was saying. So honestly,
Yeah.
that makes the movie a little better. Zach, give it that extra half.
Fine. I haven't logged in on Letterboxd yet.
That's pretty crazy, though. Double. Hey, shout out
Yeah.
for that. So that's Madam Web. That's Bob Marley, One Love.